Hi students, in this video we will discuss about another important type of biomolecule which is useful for the human body and living system. It is nothing but vitamins. Okay, now we want to know what are vitamins and how they are important to the living system. So first we want to know what are vitamins. These vitamins are also said to be vital minerals. We can also call them as vital minerals. So these are organic compounds which are required in very small amounts, and these are very important to maintain normal health, growth and nutrition. Then such type of organic molecules are called these vitamins. Okay, so these are said to be organic compounds and required in very small amounts, okay, for the growth and development and health issues or health of the human body and living system. Then such type of organic compounds are said to be vitamins. Now it should be noted that vitamins are not utilized in cell building or as energy source, but they act as catalyst. Okay, so remember this point. It should not be it should not be utilized by the cell building or utilized in cell building, but it should act as a catalyst. Okay, they can act as catalysts. That means they can act as coenzymes in biological processes. So catalysts are enzymes. These can act as coenzymes in that biological processes. So their deficiency of these vitamins can cause serious diseases. Okay, so if though they are required in very small quantities, their deficiency leads to cause different types of serious diseases. So these vitamins are not synthesized in the body. Remember this point. Vitamins cannot be synthesized in the body, and hence they should take are supplied through the diet, or we have to take it in diet. So that is, they are essential dietary factors. Okay, these are said to be essential dietary factors because they are not synthesized in the human body. That's why we have to take them through the diet or in the diet. Then we can call them as essential dietary factors. That is about the general information related to vitamins. So vitamins are said to be the organic compounds which are required in very small quantities and necessary to maintain the normal health, growth and nutrition of a human body or living system. It should be noted that these are not utilized in cell building or as energy source, but these vitamins can act as a enzyme. That means they can act as coenzymes in biological processes. Okay, so whenever these vitamins are deficient in the body, they may cause serious diseases, though they are required in the very small quantities. Because of their lack, so it leads to cause serious diseases. Okay, that's why we want to take these vitamins in proportions, required proportions. Now we want to know about the classification of vitamins. As like other biomolecules, these vitamins are also mainly classified into two important types. First one is fat soluble vitamins. Next one, water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. First we will see what are fat soluble vitamins. Okay, so the vitamins such as A, D, E, K. A, D, E and K. So those are said to be fat soluble vitamins. Okay, there are several types of vitamins. In that A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K, they are soluble in fat. Next, water soluble vitamins. So vitamin B complex and C. Vitamin B and C, those are soluble, water soluble vitamins. This is about the classification of vitamins. So vitamins are mainly classified into two important types. First one is fat soluble, next one is the water soluble. So now I am giving here a table of different types of vitamins and what are the sources of such vitamins and what is the disease which is caused by the deficiency of such vitamins. Okay, so there is a chance to ask a question from this, so listen carefully. The first type of vitamin is vitamin A. vitamin A. So the main important source of vitamin A is fish liver oil, carrot, butter, and milk. So these are the most important sources of vitamin A. If this vitamin A is deficient in a human body, then the diseases caused are xerophthalmia, which is nothing but hardening of the cornea present in eye. Okay, so that hardening of cornea which is present in the eye is nothing but xerophthalmia, and even it can also cause night blindness. Night blindness. So these are the two diseases which are caused by the vitamin A. And the next vitamin is vitamin B1. Vitamin B1. So this vitamin B1 is also known as thiamine. The main important source of vitamin B1 is yeast, milk, green vegetables, and cereals. So these are the main important sources of B1. So when this B1 vitamin is deficient in the human body, then it can cause beriberi disease, okay, which is nothing but loss of appetite. The persons do not feel hungry. So whenever this vitamin is less or deficient, the persons do not feel hungry. That is called loss of appetite and retarded growth. Even whenever they do not take a proper food, retardation of the growth will takes place. That is about this vitamin B1. Next important vitamin is vitamin B2. This vitamin B2 is also known as riboflavin. The important source of this vitamin B2 is milk, egg white, liver, and kidney. So these are the important sources of food sources of vitamin B2. Whenever this vitamin B2 is lack in the body or deficient in the body, it can cause chelosis. This is okay. So that is nothing but fissuring at corners of the mouth and lips, as well as digestive disorders and human sensation of the burning sensation of the skin. Okay, it can also cause digestive disorders as well as burning sensation of the skin. So that is the main important deficient disease of the vitamin B2. Digestive disorders and burning of the skin. Burning of the skin. These are the main important disorders or diseases which are due to the deficiency of vitamin B2. Next, vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is also known as pyridoxine. Vitamin B6 is also known as pyridoxine. So the main important source of this vitamin B6 is yeast, milk, egg yolk, cereals, and grams. So these are the main important sources of the vitamin B6: yeast, milk, egg yolk, cereals, and grams. So these are the main important sources of vitamin B6. And whenever this vitamin B6 is deficient, it can cause convulsions disease. It is a type of disease which is obtained due to the deficiency of vitamin B6. And next important vitamin is vitamin B12. Vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is known as cyanocobalamin, and the main important sources of vitamin B12 is meat, fish, egg, and curd. So these are the important sources of vitamin B12. Whenever this vitamin B12 is deficient, it can cause pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia. that is nothing but deficient of red blood cells in the hemoglobin. So the deficiency of red blood cells in the hemoglobin is called pernicious anemia. So that can be caused due to the deficiency of vitamin B12. Next, another important vitamin is vitamin C. This is also known as ascorbic acid. Vitamin C is also known as ascorbic acid. So the main important sources of vitamin C is citrus fruits. Next, amla, citrus fruits, amla, and green leafy vegetables. Green leafy vegetables. So these are the main important sources of ascorbic acid or vitamin C. Whenever this vitamin C is deficient, it can cause scurvy disease. Okay, so bleeding in gums, that is called scurvy. So that scurvy disease is due to the deficiency of vitamin C. And last important vitamin is vitamin D. Vitamin D. So this vitamin D is mainly obtained from exposure to sunlight, fish and egg yolk. So that is, those three are containing this vitamin D in sufficient amounts: sunlight, egg yolk and fish. All these are containing this vitamin D. So whenever this vitamin D is deficient, it can cause rickets disease. It can cause rickets disease, which is also known as bone deformities in children. Okay, it is also called bone deformity in children, and it can also cause softness of the bones and joint pains in the adults. So whenever bones are strengthened, then only the growth and development will be in a proper way. So because of the lack of this vitamin D, that the bones becomes very soft and joint pains in the adults. So that these are the different types of vitamins and their sources, and finally the diseases which are caused due to the deficiency of such type of vitamins. So this is about the information related to this vitamins. Now we'll see one more important topic. So now we'll discuss one more important topic from this chapter, and it is the last topic from this chapter, that is about oils and fats. So oils and fats are said to be the esters of glycerol with higher fatty acids. Oils and fats are said to be the esters of glycerols with higher fatty acids. Then those are said to be oils and fats. So oils and fats are said to be the esters of glycerol with higher fatty acids. That means they are glycerol with higher fatty acids. They are glyceryl esters or glycerides. We can also call them as glyceryl esters or glycerides. Okay, so we can also call them like this. Oils and fats are also said to be glyceryl esters or glycerides. Okay, now these oils which are liquids at ordinary temperature, they are liquids at ordinary temperature or room temperature. Okay, and contain a large proportions of unsaturated acids. They are containing large proportions of unsaturated acids. Then those are said to be oils. Whereas fats which are solid at ordinary temperature, solid at room temperature or ordinary temperature, contain large proportions of saturated acids. Saturated in the sense which contains only single bonded acids, but these are containing double or triple bonded acids. Oils are liquids at room temperature, unsaturated acids. Fats are solid at room temperature or ordinary temperature, and they are containing large proportions of saturated acids. The acids present in glycerides, okay, these oils and fats are said to be glycerides. The acids whatever are present in the glycerides are almost exclusively straight chain acids. They do not contain any branches. They contain almost straight chain acids. Okay, so they don't have branches, only straight chain of acids are present in glycerides almost. Okay, with even number of carbon atoms, and they are containing even number of carbon atoms. So the chief saturated fatty acids are lauric acid, the acids which are present in glycerides that I am going to tell you. So see, glycerides are nothing but esters of glycerol with higher fatty acids which are said to be oils and fats. Whatever the acids present in these glycerides are straight chain acids which contain even number of carbon atom. Now we'll see few important acids which are present in glycerides. So the most important acid which is present in fatty acid present in this glyceride is lauric acid. Okay, this lauric acid is having the formula C12H25COOH. This is long chain fatty acid. Okay, in this case acid is present or acid is containing even number of carbon atoms, there is no side chain. And another important acid is myristic acid. And the formula is C13H27 and COOH. So this is the another important acid present in the glycerides. And next one is palmitic acid. So this palmitic acid formula is C15H31COOH. Okay, this palmitic acid formula is C15H31 and COOH. And then stearic acid. The stearic acid formula C17H33COOH. So this is about the molecular formula of stearic acid. So the main important unsaturated acids are also present, right? Thus the type of unsaturated acids are present in oils. The main important unsaturated acid is oleic acid. So the oleic acid formula is stearic acid formula C17H35COOH. Oleic acid formula C17H33COOH. Here you can see the presence of less number of hydrogens. Why less number of hydrogens are present for C17 carbons? Because there is a double bond or triple bond. That means because of having unsaturation. Okay, so this oleic acid is involved in the formation of oils. Okay, C17H31COOH is the oleic acid. Next, linoleic acid. Linoleic acid is an isomer of the same, not isomer. It is also obtained from the oleic acid by removing two more hydrogens. Then its formula becomes C17. When you remove two hydrogens from this 33 hydrogens, then it becomes H31 COOH. Okay, even here unsaturated fatty acid. Okay, next one, linolenic acid. Linolenic acid. So the linolenic acid formula is C17H29COOH. Okay, these three are unsaturated acids. Oleic acid, linoleic acid, linolenic acid. Okay, these three are involved in the formation of oils, whereas others are saturated acids involved in the formation of fats. Okay, that is about the different types of oils and fatty acids involved in the preparation of oils and fats. Now we'll discuss about the formation of oils and fats. Oils and fats are complex mixtures. Oils and fats are complex mixtures of mixed glycerides. Mixed glycerides which are represented by using a specific formula. Okay, so these oils and fats are said to be complex mixtures of mixed glycerides. Complex mixtures of mixed glycerides, they are indicated by using a specific formula. That formula I am going to tell you, that is CH2O, C double bond O R1, CHO, C double bond O R2. Next CH2O C double bond O R3. So this is the general representation of such type of complex mixtures of, that means oils and fats. These are the complex mixtures of mixed glyceride. This is one glyceride, this is another glyceride, and it is another glyceride. Whenever these glycerides are combined together, that leads to give mixed glycerides. That complex mixtures of glycerides are called oils and fats. Whereas here R1, R2 and R3 are different types of alkyl groups. Different alkyl groups. R1, R2 and R3 are the different alkyl groups which contains high molecular weight. High molecular weight. Okay, that's why fatty acids are containing the longest carbon chain. We can call them like that. Okay, here R1 and R2, R3 are nothing but different types of alkyl chains which are containing the highest molecular weight. So that is about the general formula of fats and oils. So these fats and oils are said to be complex mixtures of mixed glycerides. Understand? So that is about the synopsis which is related to this biomolecules chapter. Now I am going to solve few bits based on the synopsis whatever I have given related to the topic biomolecules. Now we'll solve few important bits. First we'll solve the bit which were asked in the previous KCET examinations. See the first question. The letter D in D-glucose signifies. Okay, so here this question is related to the carbohydrates. So usually glucose is indicated by D. The letter D before glucose word is signifies what? Indicates what? So A, dextrorotatory. Dextrorotatory cannot be indicated by capital letter. It is indicated by small letter, so it's not our answer. Configuration at all chiral carbons. That is also not the correct one. Configuration at a particular chiral carbon. Exactly. What is, that is a monosaccharide. So the answer is, so whenever a configuration is at a particular chiral carbon is present, that can be indicated by this D-glucose or the letter D. The letter D signifies that configuration at a particular chiral carbon. So the answer is the third one. Next one, alpha maltose consists of. So alpha maltose, in the sense, first we want to write the structure of maltose. If you see the structure of maltose, it is also pyranose structure. Okay. This is containing D-glucose structure. H, here there is a linkage with another glucose, so I am not representing. HOH, OH, H, OH, H, and here H. Always we know at this carbon atom CH2OH should be present at the top or above the plate. Okay, here H, OH, because it is containing alpha D glucose, so that I am writing here OH at the below the plane, and here H, OH, OH, H. Leave this bond because there is a linkage between these two. We know at the final carbon atom CH2OH is present at the above the plane. Okay, now there will be a linkage between these two monomeric units. Clear? So that we can say it is containing 2 alpha D-glucopyranose. This is alpha D-glucopyranose. Even this is alpha D-glucopyranose. Why it is alpha? Because at first carbon atom, this is first carbon atom. At first carbon atom OH is present at below the plane. Then such type of glucopyranose is called alpha glucopyranose. Okay, so the linkage is between first carbon atom of alpha D glucose, this is first carbon, of 1 mole with the fourth carbon. This is first carbon, this is second, third, and this is fourth carbon. Between first carbon atom of one alpha D glucose pyranose and fourth carbon atom of another alpha D glucopyranose, there will be some linkage. Okay, glycosidic linkage. Then that is the structure of alpha maltose. Alpha maltose is containing alpha D glucose. glucopyranose with 1,2 linkage. Here 1,4 linkage. Here also 1,2. Here 1,4. But here alpha D glucose and beta D glucose. What are the units present here? Alpha D glucose. So the answer is the third one. See the next question. Which one of the following does not correctly match with each other? Lipase, it is an enzyme. Silk, it is a polyamide. Butter, it is a fat. Oxytocin is an enzyme they have given. But actually oxytocin is not an enzyme. It is a hormone. Okay, it is a hormone. So it's not the correct one. We want to find out which is not correct. So oxytocin is a hormone, but here they have given enzyme. This is not the correct one. Okay, now we'll see the next one. In an alkaline medium, glycine predominantly exists as an or as a which one? Okay, that we want to find out. What they are asking glycine in alkaline amine. So first write down glycine. What is glycine? Glycine is a amino acid. Write down the structure of glycine. Glycine formula is CH2COOH and at alpha carbon atom NH2 is present. This is glycine at high pH. Okay, that is in alkaline medium. Alkaline medium in the sense it should contain at high pH. At high pH what happens? This acidic character increases. Hydrogen present at the COH group is removed and can be converted into NH2 CH2 COO minus. NH2 CH2 COO minus. That means it is existing as an ion. Anion, especially it is existing as an anion. Why it is existing as an anion? Due to having the negative charge on carboxylate ion, it can exist as an anion in an alkaline medium. So the answer is the first one. Next one, dialysis can be used to separate. This is used to separate. Glucose fructose cannot be separated because both are solutions. Protein starch is also not separated because both are solids. Whereas glucose and protein can be separated by this dialysis method because glucose is completely a solution, protein is a colloid. Okay, so that these two can be easily separated by dialysis. Glucose and NaCl solution is also not separated by dialysis. So which of the following are used to separate by dialysis method? That is glucose and protein. Okay, next. Saccharin is an artificial sweetener or sweetening agent is manufactured from which one? That we want to write. So this saccharin is one of the artificial sweetening agent. So such artificial sweetening agent is prepared by using toluene. Answer is toluene. Next one, sucrose is not a reducing sugar. Okay, sucrose is not a reducing agent or reducing sugar. What is the reason? So the reason behind is that it contains no free aldehyde or ketonic group adjacent to CHOH group. Okay, it do not contain free CH aldehyde group or ketonic group beside or adjacent to the CHOH group. So it is not a reducing sugar. Answer is the second one. And next question is oils are liquids at room temperature. This question is related to polymers, that's why I am not solving here. See the ninth one. Oils are liquids at room temperature since they contain higher percentage of which among the following fatty acid. So they contain highest percentage of oleates. Okay, oleates are the highest percentages which are present in oils and liquids. Next, the number of disulfide linkages present in the insulin are. So the total number of disulfide linkages present in insulin are 3. Totally 3 disulfidic linkages are present in insulin. Next question, 1.7, this is related to the protein. 1.78 grams of optically active L-amino acid is treated with NaNO2 and HCl at 0 degrees Celsius. 448 cubic centimeters of nitrogen was at STP is evolved, that is standard temperature and pressure. A sample of protein has 0.25% of this amino acid by mass. Then we want to find out what is the molar mass of the protein. This is the question. So molar mass of protein we want to find out. First write down the amount of L-amino acid what they have given. 1.78 grams of amino acid they have given and it is present in. So because of this it releases 448 cubic centimeters of nitrogen. 448 cubic centimeters of nitrogen is released from this L amino acid. In general, the total amount of nitrogen gas is released is nothing but 22,400 cubic centimeters. Okay, this amount of nitrogen can be released from how many grams of L amino acid, that we don't know. Put a question mark. To find out this, first you have to cross multiply it. So then molar mass of L amino acid we will get. Molar mass of L amino acid is equals to, you just cross multiply 1.78 into 22,400 cubic centimeters divided by 448 cubic centimeters. You just do the calculation. After calculating all this, you will get 89. Okay, 89 grams of L amino acid is obtained. So then molar mass of L amino acid we have got. So from this molar mass of L amino acid, we can easily find out about the molar mass of the protein. So then molar mass of protein is, molar mass of protein is, if you take it in 100 ml solution, in this the total amount of molar, the total percentage of the amino acid given here is, the sample of protein they have given, that is 0.25. Write it down. Then in 89 grams of 89 percentage or grams of protein contains, what is the amount or molar mass of protein? 89 grams of protein contains how much molar mass of protein, that we want to find out. Again cross multiply it. When you cross multiply it, you will get 100 into 89 divided by 0.25. So when you calculate all this, you will get finally 35,600 gram per mole. 35,600 gram per mole. So this is about the molar mass of the protein which is obtained by the L amino acid, optically active L amino acid, with the weight 89 grams. So the answer is 35,600. That is fourth one. Okay, next one. See, these two are related to the drugs, chemistry in everyday life, and polymers. Now we'll see the next question. The statement that is not correct among the following: aldose and ketose sugars in alkaline medium do not isomerize. Whether it is an alkaline medium or acidic medium, they always keep on isomerize with each other. So this is not the correct statement. Carbohydrates are optically active is correct. Okay, penta-acetate of glucose does not react with hydroxylamine. Yes, it is also correct. Lactose has glycosidic linkage between C4 and C1 of the galactose unit. Yes, even this is correct. Which is not correct? Aldose and ketose sugars in alkaline medium do not isomerize. They will isomerize. Okay, so that it's not the correct statement. Next one. Adenosine is an example of which among the following? Okay. Adenosine is an example of which among the following? So adenosine is an example of this nucleoside, because adenosine is containing adenine purine base which is combined with sugar. Adenosine containing nitrogen base plus sugar. Okay, so if nitrogen base and sugar is present, then that is said to be nucleoside. Okay, when nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate linkages are present, then that is called nucleotide. But here only nitrogen base and sugar are present, then we can say it is a nucleoside. So that is about the few important bits related to the concepts what I have explained till now, and still many are there. You just try to solve the remaining bits. Okay, in next class, next video, I'll completely make a video on solving the questions based on the theory part what I have explained related to the topic biomolecules. And if you take this one, this is also related to polymers chapter, so I am not explaining this bit. Clear? So still many bits are there in this chapter, and in this KSET corner you just try to solve the remaining bits, and always you want to make a look of previous year bits, then only you will get an idea how to solve the questions and how the questions will be asked for the exam. Okay, so you can also solve the bits related to the topic. Along with that, you want to see the previous year question papers. Okay, then you'll get the good idea. That is about today's class. We'll meet in the next class.